We're looking at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, a day for honoring the living and the dead in the armed forces who have continued to sacrifice their lives and their families. Yeah, I dare to include their families as well, to defend the territorial integrity of this country, to ensure peace. President Muhammadu Buhari during the week launched the 2018, is it during the week?
Was in November, yes.
In November, launched the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, an appeal fund with a call to all to contribute to the welfare of members of the armed forces and their families. Now, some people have asked, why do you continue to wear this? So now you understand.
Yes.
According to him, the resolve by our countrymen and women to remain in one indivisible and indissoluble nation, his words.
Yes.
Nigeria is at the center of celebration.
So it's about one Nigeria.
Indeed, the Remembrance Day is being marked on the 15th of January instead of the 11th of November, as in the other Commonwealth nations. Why the 15th of January? To also mark the end of the Civil War. Indeed. So that war was fought to keep Nigeria as one. And there are those who said, we don't need another war.
No.
Okay, so to help us look at all of this, we have here in our Lagos studio, we have Colonel Francis Okosun, a retired military officer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We also have Suleiman Aribabu, public affairs analyst. And from our Abuja studios, we have Captain Ali Umar, also a retired military officer. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you. Okay, so let's just start from over there. Captain Ali, Armed Forces Remembrance Day, it's not something that started today. It's not something that started today. It's been on for years. And every year we come together to remember those who have fallen in the place of battle and those who are still living, and their families and all that they've had to go through. What are your thoughts about this day?
Thank you. The Armed Forces Remembrance Day for me is one big ceremony. I call it one big ceremony because you see virtually the same things repeated every year. If you have a slide of last year's own, you play it and you see a liturgy, you see a ritual, you see things done the same old way. We lay rest, we pay homage and encomiums to our fallen heroes, and we make promises. We ask for donations. We launch what we can, and beyond that, we don't see much. We don't get much. So there are two faces to the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. We have Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the ceremony, and we have Armed Forces Remembrance, the act. Ceremonially, I say it's always agog every year, once every year on this particular January the 15th. But beyond January the 15th, until next January the 15th, the dead soldier gets nothing but a few hours from Mr. President and the service chiefs. They say things they don't mean about these men. And after that, we can wait for next year, same time, same venue, same act. So we have two ceremonies there. Armed Forces Remembrance, the ceremony which we are about to see, and Armed Forces Remembrance, the act, which is virtually non-existent.
Okay, thank you.
Let me ask Colonel Okosun. He has said, yes, the ceremony on January the 15th. After then, everyone's gone back to, status quo, and nothing is remembered about, the armed forces. What are those things that are, that you would say is those things that are missing within this period, that we remember January 15th till the next one? What do you think should be remembered or should be done within those periods?
Thank you. Let me underscore what Captain Aliu has said. to many of us, the activities on 15th of January every year have amounted to a hollow ritual. We would want to see January 15 activities outlining what government intends to do to improve the lot of the living, what they intend to do to ameliorate the pains of the dependents of the departed, as well as see what can be done to, in a manner of speaking, make the death of the servicemen, those who have laid down their lives, to make it worth the while, make it worth their while. I say this because only 2 weeks ago I was at the cemetery in Ojo Cantonment. I was scandalized by what I saw. The graveyard it's terrible. You see, if you visit the cemetery in Yaba, you see the Commonwealth graves. They're beautiful. They're well laid out. The gravestones, the headstones are polished. They are painted ever so often. Across the space from there is the Ecomog burial ground. You would look. I'm not a lachrymose person, but I shed a tear when I got there the last time. It's atrocious, and I think something has got to be done. The living and the dead. The soldier who sees the way his wounded colleague or his fallen colleague is treated would have cause to be interested to give of his best, because this is a very dangerous and deadly enterprise that they are in.
Wow, you've listened to, these are two people who are part of the system, or who were part of the system. Once a soldier was a soldier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so what can you make of that time space, or those things that, aside from laying the wreath on January 15th, or, you know, saying good things about those who are dead, or trying to placate those who are living, what else should be done to immortalize those who are dead, and then to ensure that those who are living, they are living well and able to perform their duties?
Thank you very much. Actually, before the discussion started, my mood was kind of maybe almost tending towards celebratory, but having listened to those who should know, I'm a bit taken aback, and it's quite unfortunate. We do know that the Nigerian state has not found a way to make it up to Nigerians, not just the soldiers, the police, civil servants. We see our retirees queue up, die on queue and all of that. There's this feeling in Nigeria that, oh, the soldiers kind of have it a little better. But listening to what the gentlemen have said, it's quite disturbing. And of course, I'll take it from what the colonel said. The fact is that we expect that every January 15 will feature two key themes. One is a report on what we said we will do better from last year, celebration, and what we intend to do going forward in the next 1 year. And as a matter of fact, it should not be a celebratory trade, it should not be a ritual, it should be a culture. It should be part of our system that when people sacrifice, because it's not only those who die in service that are making sacrifice. The life of a soldier is a life of sacrifice. They don't have all the kind of leisure or, you know, the things that other people can't do. The life of a soldier is not like that. So when people decide to do that, and I say that also for the policemen and, you know, for our doctors, for our teachers, when people decide that they are not going to pursue those other dreams that other people, you know, normally would want to, but rather they will live a life of service, you should expect that our system should also then take care of them in a way that they don't lack in anything. And other people looking at them feel inspired, you know, to want to do the same. The situation we are in right now is not one that inspires others to want to do the same. So I would expect that, unfortunately, those who take decisions are people who, yes, they have also gone through this sacrifice, but they have gotten to the highest echelon of these services, and in a way they have gotten their rewards.
Okay.